my colleagues, speakers of various countries of the world, and heads of parliaments, I bring you warm greetings from the Parliament and the resilient people of Nigeria, a nation whose history, diversity, and democratic journey have taught us that peace is not inherited. It is built, defended, and sustained. I stand before you today not merely as a representative of my country, but as a voice shaped by experience, a voice from a nation that has endured the trials of civil war, grappled with the burdens of conflict and insecurity, and yet stands resolute in its commitment to unity, to peace, and to the enduring promise of democracy. Distinguished colleagues, we meet at a point and at a moment when the foundations of global peace are under severe strain. Across continents, terrorism and violent conflicts are no longer distant threats. They are taking roots across different borders and testing the resilience of states and institutions alike. Therefore, nurturing hope, securing peace, and ensuring justice for future generations is an apt theme for this 152nd IPU Assembly. This is not a moment for hesitation. It is a moment for resolve. It's a moment for parliaments to rise to their highest calling, to extend a lifeline to millions who are in many parts of the world drifting in a sea of despair and uncertainty, and to restore to them the hope that peace, justice, and order can still prevail. From Gaza to Iran, from Lebanon to parts of Africa, and from Russia through Ukraine, one truth has become unmistakably clear. No nation is immune, and no continent stands in isolation. It is time, therefore, to turn from destruction to construction, to fashion our spears into pruning hooks, and to redirect the instruments of war towards the work of development, harnessing our resources, our ingenuity, and our shared humanity to uplift the conditions of the world. Yet, beyond the violence lies a deeper concern, a troubling shift in our global moral equilibrium, where increasingly might appears to define the rights of people, and where the sovereignty of nations, especially the weaker ones, are often compromised. This is not merely a crisis of security. It is a crisis of leadership and a test for the global institutions and for parliaments all over the world. Nigeria speaks on this not from abstraction, but from experience. In war, we all too often count the dead, but we do not count the traumatized. We speak of numbers, yet behind every number lies a shattered cycle of life, a life of a widowed woman, the children orphaned, families broken, and communities diminished. In claiming to eliminate a man, we forget that we have undone an entire human ecosystem that man sustained. Nigeria is not concerned with who is right or who is wrong. Nigeria is concerned with the chains that are being broken of our brotherhood, of mankind, and that we are losing our humanity on a daily basis. Though we are still battling insecurity in our own dear country, we hold fast to the truth proclaimed by Martin Luther King that we are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. And because we are so bound, whatever diminishes one diminishes all, and whatever uplifts one ennobles all. The global agencies are increasingly constrained, such as the United Nations, and the world is drifting towards disorder. The Inter-Parliamentary Union must step into the void now created and become the voice of the voiceless and the hope of the hopeless. IPU must help to change the narrative. IPU must give renewed strength and purpose to even the United Nations. All nations must be treated equally, and no nation must be mistaken for the injustice. And no matter how weakened, we must never be met a warrant for injustice. Let this moment mark a turning point, a moment when the Inter-Parliamentary Union rose to its highest calling, a moment when nations act not in isolation, but in solidarity, a moment when we renew our covenant, not just with our people, but with posterity. Nigeria stands with the IPU. Nigeria stands with our fellow parliamentarians. Let us move forward together to build a world where hope endures, where peace prevails, and justice shines, steady and unwavering like the northern star. Thank you for listening to me.